Subscribers of this channel know that I love to talk about rejected ideas, concept arts, and storyline things that could have played out differently in many movies. Today we're looking back at Thor Ragnarok, and one of the film's villains. Now, many people that subscribe to this channel, that follow us on social media, know that I get all the art books based on the MCU. I absolutely love them, looking at different designs and all that. And a lot of times, there's actually designs that don't even make it into these books because they're so radically different, or they just didn't make the cut and you only have so many pages. So recently, it was revealed that one of the villains of Thor Ragnarok very early on had a pretty substantially different design to what we got in the final film. Now, this villain, being Surtur, looks very different compared to what we got in the final version. Now, I've seen some people talk about why exactly there's been such a radical departure from this to what we got, and it all goes back to, well, to the original title, right? Which was much darker, and Ragnarok was supposed to be more of a Ragnarok instead of a comedy, if you will. And this kind of goes hand in hand with some of those early concept arts we've seen of Hela, for example, and many other things, like when Thor looked like he was literally straight up ripped out from a Mad Max movie almost. Like, they had a completely different idea of what Ragnarok would be after they started development on that film after the second film came out. And through the evolution of the MCU, hiring different directors and people to work on the MCU, and eventually Taika coming on, you see that the film radically changed its well, pretty much everything from what we previously had in the Thor films. And it's one of these things, if you, again, go look at the art book, you realize that some of the art that they have in there that they talk about, they say, well, this was from a previous version of the script and then end up making it into this, or this was a previous iteration of the character that was much darker and went in a completely different direction. And that's my takeaway on that piece of art. It's just something that was a, well, leftover from a previous version where that character and everything else would have been far, far different from what we ended up getting. Now, of course, there's no saying it would have been better. It could have been worse. It could have been Thor the Dark World, and God knows we didn't need a repeat of that, because we definitely wouldn't have a Thor 4 coming our way. But hey, it's kind of cool to just see it. So what's your guys' feeling on it? The more concept art we get of this alternative version, the more I'm glad we didn't get it. I love Thor Ragnarok. Like, I know some people didn't because too comedic, but to me, it finally felt like Jack Kirby's Thor on film, and that's sort of what I've always wanted as somebody that didn't really like reading Thor, just because I found the character kind of boring.